Papua New Guinea and welcome to another episode of Business PNG. The Lihir Mining Area Land Association has spearheaded Lihir's first ever local loan scheme. The LMALA Social Business Limited's leveraging system allows people impacted by mining activities on the island to borrow money and start their own businesses. It's a move taken by the association to encourage the Lihir people to be self-reliant and financially independent before the mine ceased its operations. EMTV correspondent Edwin Fidelis was in Lihir to witness the launching of this local loan scheme.
Lihir is one of the larger islands in the New Island archipelagos, and it is the home of one of PNG's largest gold mine. Census estimates put the total population of Lihir and its nearby islands at around 18,000. Along with the mine workers employed by the mine, there are others who have come from other parts of the country to settle here. Financial conveniences and employment opportunities have spurred the large migration of people to come here. Many don't get directly employed by the mine but chose to remain. Much of the economic growth here has been fueled by mining activities on the island, but new development means new challenges for the Lihir people. In the last 20 years since the mine came, the life of the people on the island have changed. The once subsistence farming, supplemented by few cash crops like cocoa as means of income, gradually declined in popularity.
We have defined certain programs to develop our people, starting with human development itself, starting with developing themselves first, and then after that, we find opportunities, or we create opportunities for them by creating that non-mining economy. Like at the moment, the export we are exporting gold. By creating a non-mining economy, we will be looking at developing non-mining resources, like the fish we are, next to the sea. We can create opportunities there by developing that sea resources, and also developing the land resource itself, like creating opportunity for them to grow crops and that sort of thing, and also growing like livestock, like kitchen. At the moment we have the piggery project and the kitchen and the chicken project that we have at the moment, and by that we are developing it as a nucleus project. So that nucleus project then will have feeder projects. And that feeder projects will trigger that stream of income to the community, and that's what we refer to as creating a non-mining economy.
When the mineral exploration began on the island in the early 90s, it led many people to believe that their future share of the development landscape could be found through various forms in terms of compensation, services and infrastructures delivered by the company that will use the land that the resource is to be extracted from. And over the years, the people's lives on the island revolved around a dependent economy, spurred by royalties and other forms of financial services that the mine have provided.
When you look at the scenario that is happening right now on Lihir, what we have in place now is a system that we have basically signed up with the developer. And every benefits that we are receiving from the project or from the developer is all good at this point in time. When the project closes, that's the very big question that we need to answer. So as a landowner, I feel comfortable today, but I also know that in the future when the mine goes, there will be a question for me to answer, not for me only, but we'll have grandchildren, we'll have boo-boos that will be coming up. So whatever we do today, we need to make sure that we need to plan the right foundation today, so that if the mine closes, at least we have something to leave for our kids in the future.
After more than 2 decades of mining operations, the Lihir people, the elites and the elders have come to a realization that life can't go on as usual for the Lihir people. So they took a new approach in order to change their way of life. The Lihir Mining Area Landowners Association, or LMALA, has played a significant role in making sure that those who have been affected by the mining activities on the island get what they deserved. One of the recent steps taken by LMALA is the introduction of the leveraging system, a financial system that was recently launched on the island.
The life after mine is not always good, so the leaders are taking a responsible step now when the project is still operating. And we are trying to use the Lihir Gold project as a stepping stone to to start giving that opportunity to the landowners to start looking at areas where they can be sustainable. So the leveraging system that we are launching is basically part of that process. It's just a tool to enable that individual to change the mindset from being dependent to independent. So
It will allow people from the affected areas around the mine to get loans to start their businesses. It's a combined effort by LMALA, Mineral Resource Limited Capital and Microbank to make that happen.
Lihir Sustainable Development Program, LSDP, which is part of the LMALA group, it's under the LMALA umbrella, is a shareholder in Me Bank, and I've been a shareholder for many, many years. So as a result of that, we have a presence here on Lihir Island. We've got quite a large branch here with 7 or 8 staff, and we provide all the banking services that you would normally find. However, the people on Lihir Island have funds with MRL Capital, and they need to grow as people, and they need economic development on this island. They need financial education, they need financial literacy training. So this leverage system that we're joining with LMALA, LSDP, MRL Capital is about providing financial literacy and education to the people, and the people to be able to leverage off this system to have access to credit. So to put it in its simplest form, people can open accounts with us, they can learn how to save, they can learn how to create businesses, and they can access credit.
It's a concept that centers around self-reliance and financial sustainability, a vision stated in the Lihir Destiny Plan that they want to achieve.
Legacies of environmental damages or the decline in standard of living of the people caused by mining activities have been used by other resourceful areas in the country. For the people of Lihir, the landowners know all too well that if they aren't careful, they too will suffer the consequences of the mining activities. An example is the Misima gold mine in Milne Bay province. The Lihir people have begun work to chart a new future to change their way of life before mining operations end on the island.
The legacies of mining activities, the pollution to the environment or the improvement in standard of living have been retold time and again in many resourceful areas of the country. One such was the legacies of the 20 years of mining operations on Misima Island in the Milne Bay province. Over the years, Misima has been featured prominently in most of the landowners' discussions here as an example of an operation that left little for landowners after mining ended. A few years after the mining activities ended in Misima, socio-economic standards of the people on the island dropped significantly. Infrastructures have crumbled and the way of life returned to what it was before the mine came.
All the agreements between landowners and provincial government were never honoured. The agreements between the national government and the landowners were never honoured. And that is why still today we are fighting for those rights.
But for the Lihir people, Misima provides a contrast and a lesson for the people to learn from, they say. The recent launching of the leveraging system is one of the positive steps taken to find long-term solutions for self-reliance and sustainability in the life of the people on the island.
in terms of getting the system to work, I started talking with financial institutions to see if they're interested in coming and forming that partnership. And eventually I got that acceptance from MRL and Microbank to be party to the arrangement. So when I presented the concept of leveraging to them, I think Microbank jumped at the idea. That was a brilliant idea, and that they would be willing to assist the landowners of LMALA to go into setting up a system like this. And I think Microbank has also had a number of experience with other clients also in Papua New Guinea who are doing the same thing. So I think they saw that they can come in and do this thing.
As part of the mining agreement, landowners have been saving at least 10% of their royalties since the mine began, and over the years, the savings has accumulated to over 26 million kina. So LMALA introduced the leveraging system so that the people who have saved it themselves can utilize that money.
And so what we're trying to do now under the leverage system is basically for the people, landowners, or the contributors who are contributing to these funds, to start leveraging money they have in their accounts, to start going into setting up their own business, like small business, and then they can go as far as becoming big business people, but we have to start small. So the basic idea in that leverage system is to leverage those funds currently are held at LMALA.
As we've always said, it's part of the Lihir Sustainable Development Plan, that we always wanted to empower our people so that they are able to help themselves. And we've talked about it for a very long time. And this day, it's been worth a wait that now we've come to it. And now we are doing this facility now.
You must get this the mindset where want him something, only like start him, now only grow him, only must hold him strong, now achieve him all objectives. This la, and by fulfill him, all thing block come up him. Self-reliance, the financial independence, along this la, big la look block, Lihir Sustainable Development Plan.
The leveraging system is the first of its kind on Lihir that allows local people who have been directly impacted by the mine to borrow money.
What we're trying to do here on Lihir is probably unique to other mining resource areas. We're trying to, the financial plan, the leveraging system is our own homegrown thinking. And there's been a lot of we will find a lot of challenges in implementing those plans, but if the drive from the leadership level is along those lines, we will achieve those plans. We will achieve the Lihir destiny that we used to talk about.
While the leveraging system is gaining popularity, it is also the first of its kind to be introduced in this small goal island. And those who are taking the responsibility to make it happen are confident that it will work.
Once we start, and from the start, not a lot of people will be convinced that this thing is going to work, but we need to start and work with a few to try and give the result that we are assuming it's going to happen, and that is the assumption that I work from, that if we can get one or two to go through this process and prove to the others that this can work, and this is how much money you can make, and this is how you can improve your life by doing this kind of thing. I think that is the thing that we want our people to see. And then maybe they get the mind to come and join this scheme.
We knew from the very beginning, when we negotiated the project, that mining resource is a non-renewable resource. It will one day be depleted. So therefore, we structured our IBP in a way that we, after the mining finishes, we will be able to create a sustainable future for our people. And the plan itself, it has a vision and it has a destiny. So that is why it is now referred to as the Lihir destiny. And the Lihir destiny is to create a non-mining economy after the mine closes. We know that the mining revenue will cease when the mine operation stops, and therefore we have to create something sustainable.
Now on to some news bites. The Cocoa Board of PNG today swore in 4 directors as part of a major reforms in the agriculture sector. Speaking at the ceremony, Agriculture and Livestock Secretary Dr. Vele Ilaava said the country's cocoa industry is recovering from the port borer disease, and PNG is now in a better position to compete in global markets. The new boards of directors have been tasked to bring the industry forward and provide proactive governance in the cocoa industry.
The cocoa industry in PNG was thought to be lost after it was crippled by the cocoa pod borer disease, a disease that has affected over 2 million local farmers in the last 10 years. However, with the introduction of the pod borer tolerant cocoa clones, the industry is slowly recovering and PNG is now in a position to be a global competitor. The swearing-in ceremony marks the start of a new era of the cocoa industry. Part of the government's agriculture reforms, the new board of directors will be tasked to provide a proactive governance in ensuring cocoa production increases.
We would like to see a board which is very proactive, a board that can think business, commerce, economics, the board that can really pull in investments into the industry.
The recent launch of the cocoa industry strategic plan embraces the cocoa industry-wide issues and challenges. Cocoa Board CEO Boto Gaupu said it is an opportune time that a board is in place to effect the transition of the 10-year strategic plan.
Now that we have a board, we should be able to roll out programs that the management has in place in order to revive the industry and take it forward into the next stage.
PNG's global share of the cocoa market currently sits at 1%, but PNG cocoa is internationally recognized by the International Cocoa Organization as 90% fine flavor.
So that puts us in a very special niche market in the world. So we don't have to compete with Africa. We don't have to compete with Asia. We've got to target our strength, and our strength is quality cocoa. We still maintain the 90% fine flavor, but our target as a board is to ensure that we start to put in place programs and strategies to lift it to 100% fine flavor.
This year's major financial inclusion exposition was held in Mount Hagen in the Western Highlands province. With the theme Kisim Save Lorot Bilong Painim Na Lukautim Moni Bilong You, more than 20 financial institutions, including service providers, took part in the third Financial Inclusion Expo for 2016. The two-day expo was staged by the Bank of Papua New Guinea.
The third major financial inclusion exposition was launched on Friday by Loy Bakani, Governor of Bank of Papua New Guinea. Governor Bakani and other dignitaries were part of the opening on Friday. A total of 27 institutions, including financial institutions and service providers, took part in the two-day event. 100 stand up for the event, most from the rural sector. Governor Bakani, before launching the expo, said the aim of the expo is to drive the government's Vision 2050.
Long country, government they talk Vision 2050. Yeah, I'm talking some. You must kerabim sinan me. You must be wealthy and happy in 2050.
He said the expo is designed to ensure the unbanked population has an opportunity to open bank accounts and appreciate the services provided by financial institutions. He urged the public to use the expo as an opportunity to learn about the licensed financial institutions and their products and services.
Institutions where you must go now, ask him all halbim, now you can engage with them all long. Kisim save lo, when can service only got, now when can service only can provide him long albin sinan blue.
In his acknowledgement, the governor said this year's theme, Kisim Save Long Road Bilong Painim Na Lukhaute Moni Bilong You, fits well with the efforts of the bank to encourage low-income earners to be part of the formal financial system. Meanwhile, one of the service providers, Telecom PNG, was part of the expo, showcasing its many products during the expo. Highlands Regional Sales Manager Simon Kama said Telecom is a partner in providing accessibility to banking services for customers.
We see that this telecommunication is one medium for all the financial companies to let the customers access the accounts via internet.
The autonomous region of Bougainville is a highly potential tourism site for Papua New Guinea. Tourism Minister Tobias Kulang described Bougainville as the last frontier for the Pacific, which has so many products to offer tourists.
The Boca Town Tourism Development Plan Initiative 2016 to 2020 has been launched This includes the Buka Urban Council's new logo. The launching was officiated by National Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Tobias Kulang, Autonomous Bougainville Government's Associate Minister for Tourism, Robert Hamal-Sawa, and National Communications Minister, who's also the Central Bougainville MP, Jimmy Mirintoro. Mr. Kulang thanked the Buka Urban Council under the leadership of Town Manager Edward Kanai for initiating such a great plan to drive Buka Town as a tourism destination.
Congratulations, Buka. Congratulations. AVG, you are getting the formula right. That's where this industry is going to fly.
The tourism industry is the way forward for Bougainville because it will help grow the region's internal revenue, and this should be today's focus.
The tourism industry, and we generate some internal revenue for this nation. Mining as well by generating money here.
The launching paves way for stakeholders to work together to make Buka Town an entry point for tourism.
Destinations for Papua New Guinea that tourism can really thrive.
And that's all from us tonight. For more business news, or if you would like to view this episode again, visit MTV online at the URL at the bottom of the screen. Or for up-to-the-minute business news and updates, like our page on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Business PNG or on Tumblr. Until next week, have a pleasant evening. I'm Michelle Bird and this was Business PNG.